Hey guys, it's JP554731 and I just wanted to do a review on the Bootleg Datong Armor Plus Samurai Troopers figure, and it looks pretty good. I've seen some of the pictures and I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. And actually the cardboard feels kind of different. The real Armor Plus box feels glossy, so they used glossy paper or like a kind of glossy cardboard, and this one is really a flat kind of cardboard. And here we are. Let's go ahead and show you the instruction manual first. And it looks like they used a shrink wrap or one of those heat thingies. Those I actually have one of these. It heats up the plastic so that you can seal stuff. So let's go ahead and put that plastic away. And it's different. The instructions differ. It's a lot more orange, like Kento's version. So it's got all the standard stuff here, and it's pretty much a copy of the Japanese premium Bandai instructions. So there's the instructions. Let's go ahead and put that away. And let's go ahead and get to the kit itself. Let's go ahead and start here. So overall they did a pretty good job of copying the bubble packaging. So I have suspicion that maybe the manufacturer of the kit after Bandai was done with the molds, since the Armor Plus stuff was made in China. I'm guessing that the tooling that was used to make these were reused by the bootlegger. So that's not really uncommon. I mean, musical instrument manufacturers do that as well. If you know anything about trumpets, when the Vincent Bach Company was sold in 1961, some of the tooling went to I think it was Benj or Olds, and they kind of made their own copies of the famous Bach Stradivarius Mount Vernon trumpets. So I don't see why toy manufacturers don't. It's not. I don't see a huge anything wrong with toy manufacturers reusing tools. So anyways, here we have the Rekka no Ryo unarmored figure. So he feels kind of loose, but pretty much everything feels to be the same. It's just that he's a little loose in the joints, so maybe he's been pre-lubricated with something to make him a little bit more flexible. So yeah, I've felt a lot of these Armor Plus figures because I own like I think 12 of them now. Actually 14, because I have 2 of every one except for the this one, the powered up, the official powered up one, and the glossy white reprint. So yeah, I'm trying to get a feel for the bootleg, and it feels really good. It feels like almost the articulation feels almost like the real thing. It's just a little bit more slippery. Here you have the shoulder armors. They look really a different glossy white. So they're like super glossy compared to the rest of the kit. So I'm thinking that these are painted and then the rest of the kit is just color molded. So all the whites are pretty flat. So here I'm testing out the joints, and everything seems to be okay. It's just that a ball joint, it's like really it's kind of really hard to articulate here on the wrist, but I guess with a little fiddling around, it might wear down, and I'll be able to articulate it more. So yeah, I'm liking the feel of the figure itself. So let's go ahead and go to this. And this is actually supposed to be one piece, this and here. Let's go to the figure stand, and it feels to be the same ABS plastic. So again, going back, I feel like the Bootleg company just got the tools, bought the tools from whatever China company did the manufacturing, and basically just did a reproduction, since Premium Bandai doesn't seem like they're gonna do one anytime soon. So the paint is pretty much spot on. I really like the silver that they used. It looks pretty similar to the ones used on the actual Armor Plus figures. So I'm gonna go ahead and mess around with the armor some more, and when I come back I'll do a comparison of the actual Armor Plus with the fake one, so watch out for that. Okay, so as you can see here, I've already taken out the hip joints, and they're actually pretty hard to take out, so you might want to use some Vaseline and put some in the joint before you take it out. And I actually had some joints that I replaced. I used the original Rio to replace broken hips on my Seiji, and I might need to get more hip joints for my Sai, which shouldn't be a problem. I'm gonna get these figures anyway, or these bootlegs anyway, so just to display in my car like this in the armored form, so I don't have to display the real ones. And if they get stolen, or if the paint rubs off, then there isn't I won't feel as bad, I guess. So now about the joints, you're gonna want to, once it's on, you're gonna want to be really careful, because the joints are really stiff, which can only mean that either the ball joint itself on the official figure is too big, like this is the bootleg one, the ball joint that they molded might be too small, or the other way around, where this part is actually too big. And well, in any case, it's just really hard to articulate, and I just hope that some breaking in of the joint will help alleviate that. Maybe if I move it a little bit more, some of the plastic gets shaved off. And the way you want to articulate these hip joints is as close to the actual hip joint as possible, because if you, like, for instance, if I have my left hand on the here on the bottom part of the figure, and I'm articulating it down here, that's a no-no. That's how I've broken a bunch of hip joints. And I've actually broken a bunch of hip joints by dropping the figures by like 5 feet, so which really tells you that the quality of these hip joints are really crappy. And even on the original figures, like the Nations ones, they're molded in 2 parts, meaning it's fused together. So I really don't like the engineering on this hip joint. So this is one of Bandai's really big mess ups on toy kits. I don't think in the past couple of years I've owned a lot of Bandai stuff, like Gundam and some toys, and I think this is a really one of Bandai's worst engineering. I'll go ahead and compare the faces. You can see that there's not really that much paint. It doesn't even look painted, it just looks like the regular PVC. Here, this is the official figure. So you can see a lot of shading. So this is obviously painted, and you can see here that they actually did blue eyes like the powered up version, as opposed to the black eyes. This is actually the 2009 version that came out in November, and this one is supposed to be a remake of the 2011 version. This is the bootleg, and the hair feels pretty, like they feel pretty much the same. And you can see I made a comment I think a few minutes ago about the glossiness of the shoulder, so it leads me to believe that this was painted, and it obviously is. And you can see it's a lot glossier since this is the powered up version than this one. I actually had a lot of trouble, like on the official leg, you can actually take this part out, but I find that a lot of the bootleg stuff, like is like the swords, you're supposed to be able to take the swords out, and then it's gonna be like this short nub that goes in, but I guess they glued it on because I guess they don't want other people bootlegging their bootleg, which makes no sense at all. But I don't know, I think that's what it is, because a lot of like bootleggers, like especially like magazine scanners, like for hobby magazines like New Type and all those, like Gunpla magazine, Dengeki Hobby, the Chinese like to put little watermarks saying, hey, I'm the one who bootlegged this. They're basically saying, hey, I want credit for this, and if you're gonna bootleg my bootleg, then I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm just going on. I'm rambling. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and check out the armor itself. So here is the bootleg. There's some parts here that, like the insides, that are like not painted at all, and some of them like look really dull. And there's some like white stuff that comes off of it. I think that's from probably the top coat, but it's really dull on the insides. And on the actual figure itself, those are painted. So it's really attention to detail, like the Tamashii Nations stuff. I mean, it's really good. Like, you get what you paid for. And here on the left, you can see the actual This is the powered up version of the Rekka no Ryo. And you can see it's actually really not really, the painting that they did was not really that good. It could be that this is actually a really old figure and it just faded, the paint. But what I think happened is that here you can see it's really glossy. The bootlegger did a really good job on some of these parts, but there's some areas that are lacking, like there's some color missing. Like what you would do to get this kind of paint is you would spray like an aluminum color as the base coat, and then or actually black first and then aluminum, and then you would spray like a clear version of red, so that it'll have this like sort of candy effect. It's called a candy coat. Excuse me. And you can see that the bootlegger did a really fine job. I don't know if it's showing up that well, but yeah, they did really good job. I have to commend them for this. And I mean, it should be for like a $75 figure. I paid $75 from a Chinese seller on eBay, and it's actually a lot better than the helmet of the official powered up version. So I thought that was really something, and something to note. So my overall take on the armor, like it's done really well. The all the colors match up. They're like really accurate to the original powered up. It's just that there's some, I guess it depends on like who's painting your kit or your figure, is how it ends up. I mean, there's some really good spots, but there's also spots that don't match up, like this one right here. You can see that the gloss, or the top coat that they put, they actually sprayed it too close to the kit, so it's like really it looks kind of flat, and it should look glossy, and it just looks like the top coat got like really it pooled, like there was too much on the surface when it dried. So like I said, so it has it's good spots and bad spots, and there's actually some chipping. I don't know if there's like this is probably like a gate area that like that they like the nub that they snipped it off of, like it wasn't really cleanly snipped off, and then when they sprayed over it, I guess it was too weak, like the adhesion wasn't very good, so like it's easily chipped off the paint. But it's not really uncommon for the official Armor Plus. Like I got one of the chest pieces, like this one on my powered up one, was like flaking off. So it's probably not just the bootleg. So and I got that figure in like 2012 used from like Mandarake. And so like I said, a lot of the stuff that shouldn't be glued is glued, and some of the stuff that isn't glued should be glued, like this part right here. It's two pieces on the bootleg, but one glossy black piece on the official figure, and it's really flimsy. I might go ahead and glue that myself. Like, it moves the head around, and the horns are actually supposed to be removable, but again, the bootlegger decided to glue it for purposes unknown. probably to prevent other people from bootlegging their crap, which is really funny when you think about it. Because why would you want to bootleg a bootleg when you just bootleg the original? Anyways, the articulation here, like, it's kind of okay, I guess. Here you can see some chipping on the paint here already. It's flaking off like crazy. Maybe they didn't fully degrease the part before painting, so that's why there's like some oily residue when they painted, and then it never really adhered to the part, so that's why some of the paint is flaking off, which is really sad. Let's go ahead and go to the swords. Actually, I really liked the color of the swords. These are actually the bootleg swords, and they look really fine, really good, except when put up to the official swords. They're almost like you can't really tell unless you put it in the light and start shining it. Like, there's some real attention to detail on these Tamashii Nations parts. Like, these ones you can see like really fine scratches, and the paint is kind of dull. It's not as shiny, and that might have to do with like the top coat. Like I said, on the back skirt, the top coat on the sword, it might have been sprayed too close, so that like the top coat like pooled on the surface, and then that's why you see like all these a little bit of like flat areas, like it doesn't look shiny. So that's that. Let's go ahead and compare the gold on the shoulder with the gold on the official kit. So here's the official figure. I keep saying kit when this is in a Gundam kit, but well, anyways, so it's almost indistinguishable. Like, it's really good. Even the like the areas that are supposed to be black, like, they're really filled in nicely. And here is the back of the bootleg. So who knows? Maybe it might just stay on, or it might just like flake off, or the clear once I put it in my car and the sun starts shining on it. But I actually put my original Rio on the stand and put it in my car for a while, and like after I started touching the clear paint, the clear yellow started coming off. So I'm probably just gonna spray some Mr. Super Clear this time, the UV cut version. So this is the gloss version, and what the UV cut means is that it's supposed to be it's supposed to prevent the paint from getting too messed up in like the sun. So that's what the UV cut means. You can get the regular version without the UV cut, and it's a lot cheaper. It's like $2 cheaper, but I don't really know. Other than that, I don't know what the difference is. There's also a flat version of the UV cut. This is the gloss version, like I said. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that so I can put this in my car. I won't have to really worry about it afterwards. So I'm probably not gonna put the armor on the figure because it's already I've already pretty much cannibalized it and put it on this one. And going from the articulation on the hip area, it's really flimsy, and I don't really think that the figure would have held it up all that well. So you would probably need a Tamashii 5 or Tamashii Act 5 or Tamashii Act 4 stand, clear stand. This is actually my own personalized stand. I use the Tamashii Nations Act 4 base and then the 5 arm. So this is my own little neat. So another thing I wanted to note was they got rid of some of the marks, like the nubs. So they did a really good job on the bootleg, better than the original. Okay, so a couple more gripes about this figure. You can see that the inside cover for the joint is it's really squirrely. By squirrely I mean it's really loose, as opposed to the official Bandai figure. You can see it's really tight in there. And let's see what else. Actually, the elbow joint is really pretty good. It's just the wrist joints that that are really tight. Actually, the joints are when you pop the hands on and off, they're actually really easy compared to the official figures. Those are the joints, sometimes they get really stuck on. Let's see. Okay, so these hand covers are really only supposed to go one way. This is the left one. You can see there's an indicator there, and pretty much everything that has an indicator, like it says L on it, has been replicated on the bootleg. And but the thing about the you can see the indentations where it's supposed to lock in. You're able to put them any which way you on some of the figures, or on some of the hands. So that's a minus, because then on the actual figure you can only put them one way. There's only one way to put it, and if you try to put it, you might put it the opposite way, you might break it, the connector. And actually all the other joints, like the waist and torso, are pretty good. Even the hip joints are pretty good. Let's see. Even like the neck joint and the ball joint on the that connects to the head is pretty good. It's just that they come out really easily. Well, I guess that's a plus if you think about it. If you're gonna like exchange heads and stuff, but I could see these falling out easily. Let's go to the stand. Pretty much everything fits well on the stand. Again, I have a gripe on the hand covers, because they don't snap on really well. I mean, they're like really kind of loose. And then you have the inner connector here that's supposed to go onto the shoulder joint, and you can see that there's a lot of paint flaking off, and that's not really normal on the official Bandai figure, the paint flaking off. And you're gonna want to be careful when putting on the side skirts, because they're really hard to put on. And the way I would suggest that you do it is, if you have the side skirt off, and then you attach the joint to the side skirt first before attaching the joint to the connector, like here. It's better to have it like this, because then if you try to connect the joint, connect the side skirt like here, if the joint's already on, you try to connect it, you might end up scratching off the paint like I did. So you might want to be wary of that. Let's see. All in all, They did a pretty good job on the paint, like the color. It's pretty much copied really well. I think on the actual figure, this doesn't really come off. It's just that the ball joint. It's just the ball joint that disassembles, and this is actually probably most likely glued on. So there's that. So yeah. Also, these are these little things are quite floppy. They're not really form-fitting, so they'll flop around a lot. And you can see a couple of spots where they missed like airbrushing. So like some of the clear red, there's some missing spots. I've seen like official figures have pretty bad painting as well, just not as bad as this. And another thing to note on the helmet, when you first take it out of the package, you might want to take like an X-Acto knife or something and just stick it in between the crevice here to pry the parts apart, like pry the two halves apart, because then you might end up snapping the pegs that go into the holes. Because I had a really hard time taking the helmet apart, so you might want to look. You might want to watch out for that. So yeah. So yeah, if you're thinking about buying the bootleg, I would really highly recommend the bootleg. I know it's it's kind of it's kind of morally bad to since it's a bootleg, but you know, these Armor Plus, the official figures are all pretty much premium Bandai exclusives, and I really hate that Bandai does that. But then again, without premium Bandai being like special order and being like made to order for the consumer and the hobbyist, like we wouldn't have these Bandai wouldn't have the funding to make mass productions of these figures. So it's kind of really, you know, it's a good situation and a bad situation. But anyways, so yeah, I'd really recommend the figure. And the way I got mine is through eBay, and the seller is called Sissy Lai, S-I-S-S-Y, and then I think there's a hyphen and then L-A-I, and it's under Flame God Rio or something like that. And like I said, it's really it really depends on the figure that you get. The paint apps are pretty much the same, really good. It's just that the Tamashii Nations one parts are like, there's a lot more attention to detail. And there's a chance of chipping, like I said, on both figures. And on the bootleg, like the paint apps on the inside, there's not as much attention to detail. And I forgot to mention that pretty much all the parts that are supposed to be die cast and the ones that are supposed to be plastic are all, like, they're all correct. All of them, it's all like the same as the original figure. So I guess that's a good thing. But I really wanted to see what the helmet would feel like as a die cast. And I actually want to see what the hips would be like if they were die cast as well, or like at least single molded instead of two-part, like a split in the middle mold. So that pretty much does it for this review. Thanks for watching. Like I said, I highly recommend the Bootleg simply because the supply isn't very good. Well, since it's a premium, pretty much all of the Ronin Warriors, Samurai Troopers kits are sold out, and you can only buy them secondhand at Japanese secondhand shops and eBay and whatnot. And the only really big complaint that I have is the price point. I bought mine for $75, and this is US dollars, and the shipping was free. And the good thing about the shipping was it was shipped from China to California in the United States, and the shipping only took about like 4 days. It was friggin' mind-boggling, and it was sent by e-packet. I guess this is China's version of EMS. It's like a cheaper version, I guess, and it was really fast. And faster than some of the stuff I get from Japan, even with EMS and FedEx, like from HLJ, Ami, and all that. Well, anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this review and got something out of it. And I actually forgot to look at the this portion, and it looks to be the same color, and they got it really right. So they did a really good job. So I have a feeling, like I said, that this figure is just reused tools after Bandai decided, hey, we rehashed this figure so many times, I don't think we're gonna do another premium Bandai of it, so we might as well sell the tooling. And I just hope that they use or have like backups, or maybe those were like old tools that they sold off. And I hope that they saved some of the tools to make like the Dark Warlords. I actually did a video on hints that Tamashii Nations is making those figures, and Jun Yamano and Nasty Yagyu, they're actually doing questionnaires on Tamashii's webpage. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful to you guys. JP554731 signing out, and please subscribe for more videos like this. If Datong goes ahead and sells a whole bunch of other bootlegs of the other Armor Plus line, I'm definitely gonna buy these. These are really worth it, and I'm not just for the hip joints, but as doubles. Like, say if you bought one figure and like you have it in the armored form, and the hip joint like just died on you, so you just buy the bootleg and then display it like this, and then use the extra joint on your official kit, your official figure. So win-win. You have two displays. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys later.